My penis is erect. I don't like the way this looks right off the bat. I should have tested it maybe before I started the actual stream, but no, I go balls to the wall, my friends. That's how I do it. You go balls to the wall. You don't check anything before you start, and then you hope for the best, and then complain when things don't go your way. That's the piggy way. That's the way a piggy does it. At least, the lighting is even. We'll give it that. Welcome to the live stream. I don't think I've seen you for 2 weeks. Last week, I went through an incident, and I decided, you know what? I shouldn't stream. I should take not a break. Not a break. Could you imagine? Oh, I should take a break from talking into a camera for an hour. Ooh. No, but I should not do the stream because I wouldn't have produced a good, decent show, which, believe it or not, I do consider these to be at least well-produced shows. So I didn't want to do that last week and provide a subpar show, much like the last episodes of Ham Radio. I don't know if you were a fan of those, but if you watched any of the last episodes, those were pretty fucking awful. Looking back at them, I tend to watch it when it pops up on my on my feed. For some reason, I get old ham radio videos recommended to me, even though back then I don't think they were being recommended to anyone. So it's kind of odd that I get them. Maybe because I was looking it up. But we have an action-packed episode. Let's see if I could actually do this. Fuck, hold up. I could do it. Stop. Fuck. Okay, I can do it. I promise. Well, welcome to a PigCast, as I call them. It's been approximately a week. A lot has happened in the week in terms of what's going on in the outer space, right? Today we have an action-packed episode. We're going to talk about why specifically I missed last week's episode. And the spoilers is anxiety. Anxiety. I hate it, but unfortunately it's a thing, right? What kind of a weird non-thing that doesn't exist, that you can't measure, right? There's nothing that shows up in blood work, but yet bothers you and feels like a heart attack, which is another thing that I thought was happening to me. I'm not usually a hypochondriac when it comes to certain things, but you can't help it when you don't know what you have, right? That's the problem when it comes to these things. When you don't know what you have, you technically have everything. It's technically, what is it, Schrodinger, right? It's Schrodinger's disease, or however it is you want to pronounce that, where you don't know what you have. So technically, any symptom could be a product of anything else. So if your left arm starts feeling numb, you go, oh, is this it? Is this sweet surrender? Hey, Piggy, big fan. Gutbuster Mike says, what up, my piggas? I'm glad you used the soft G. I don't know why my chat here wasn't loading. Which, again, maybe because I have this one playing at the same time. I was going to say, I don't think anybody should be a big fan. I was astonished when I went to Blackpool and how many people were there saying, hey, man, big fan. I love your stuff. I've been following you forever. I'm like, really? Have you seen it? Have you seen the content? So I guess we should just jump in. So last week, it was a fun time, right? Because I didn't know what was going on. I was having a weird chest pain, sporadic chest pain. I was breathing. My breathing was labored, right? And then every little thing that would come up, every little instance, I'm like, oh, this is just a thing that is part of whatever the grand scheme of the problem is. Turns out, right, you go to the doctor. I actually went to the urgent care, and I bombed at the urgent care office. I bombed. I did a joke that was pretty bad. I don't know if I should mention it here. I think I mentioned this maybe on I do recall saying this on maybe in a previous live stream, which makes my timeline a little bit wavered. But I did what had to be the worst joke of all time at the actual place, and I was astonished that I wasn't kicked out immediately after bombing so hard at the urgent care facility. And of course, every person that I talked to said the exact same thing, which is hysterical, right? They go, no, man, dude, it makes sense, dude. With everything going on, obviously you're going to have anxiety with everything going on. You think everything going on affects me? You think everything going on is going to affect my stress? No, you know what affects my stress and anxiety? Terrible drivers affects my stress and anxiety. People that don't know the rules of the road stress me out. Maybe that's the reason. JT says, what is this shit? Look at the wrench, JT. Look at your power here as a moderator. I forgot I gave you moderator status, but you have the wrench. You have the power of the wrench. You could command a stream if you want. You could do whatever you want in the chat. You could ban people for no reason. You could, what I was going to say, exert your authority. Sean Devine says, stress lotion from Bath and Body works wonders for your anxiety and hands. I agree. Any sort of, I've gotten these anxiety candles. Not anxiety candles. Jesus, I can't imagine a more gay thing than having anxiety candles. But I've gotten things that should reduce stress and reduce anxiety, right? Some certain gummies, certain teas. I've gotten aromatherapy stuff, right? So certain things that should mitigate it. But I thought I was having a heart attack. I thought I was having a heart attack. I woke up at 4 o'clock in the morning. I immediately called my neighbor and I said, hey, man, you got to do me the favor, man. Dude, you got to help me out, man. You got to take me to the ER, dude. And I went outside and we're talking it through. And he goes, listen, man, I could do it if you want, but I don't think you need it, man. I think you're good. I'm like, am I? I'm freaking out. I woke up. My heart was racing. I was not in the right place, right? And then, no, it turns out that I was just, I don't know, I had maybe a bad dream. Look at me feeling like a child. Subsequently, I ended up waiting till the urgent care opened up. Got a scan. They checked me out. Everything was fine. And then I had an appointment the next day. And JT said it right. Yes. Sounds like I had a case of acute being a bitch. That's exactly what I had. Bing bong, my friends.
Bing bong.
Bing bong. Fuck. I didn't put my car crash. I wanted to put a car crash noise. And I didn't pull it up today. But that's exactly what I had. And I ended up going to the doctor. They did some blood work, right? Which is just the worst. And I passed out while I was doing blood work too, which is even more aggravating because you're just adding and compounding to the bitchness that I was experiencing. And the guy took out blood, which I don't have an issue with. Needles don't freak me out. Blood doesn't freak me out. But you get that weird feeling, and then everybody starts freaking out. The guy rubbed ammonia in my nose. It was a fucking nightmare because everybody's catering to you. And then I'm apologizing for being a bitch, essentially. So I'm like, listen, I'm sorry. All right, I apologize to waste your time. I'm wasting my time. But more importantly, I'm wasting your time. Right, I'm wasting your time here because I passed out for no reason whatsoever. You only took out 2 vials of blood. It's not like the last time they took out blood, they sucked me dry. They took out 6 vials just so they could tell me what my calcium levels were. That's fine. I could tell you what my calcium levels are. They're good. Okay, so I don't know why, but everything came back fine. Extra points for Metroid background. Well, the background is a Japanese. I don't know how long it's been since you've seen one of these, JT. It's insulting to me that you're not aware of the bit here. But those are commercials, Japanese commercials from the 80s that I thought looked decent. I also hate the AirPods. I'm sorry. I have to show you guys a couple videos, and I didn't want to connect my headphones, so I have the AirPods on. I hate people that have AirPods on in public. I hate it, especially people that talk into them. You should be shot. If I was Joseph Biden, I would have bad drivers shot, and I would have people that wear AirPods and talk into them loudly in public shot. But alas, my friends, I'm only PigCake, and my power only is limited to magic virgins within I don't know, a 2-foot vicinity. So I hate this look, and I hate the dudes that wear AirPods and then they tap it. They do the little tap, right? Oh no, I gotta change the songs. Ugh. But the actual urgent care, I dropped what had to be the worst joke of all time. The doctor that was there was a very attractive Latin American woman. So I'm like, let me drop a little bit of a banger here. Let me drop a little bit of some bants, some jokes. Let me see if I can make the mood a little bit better. Because I went in there, I'm like, I don't know what's happening. I have a hard time breathing. I have I have to catch my breath. My chest hurts all the time. Spoilers, my chest hurt because, like an idiot, I was doing these workouts where I'm working out throughout the day, and I was doing chest every day. I was doing push-ups, like 500 push-ups every day. That's not good. And I wasn't feeling it here. I was feeling it in my sternum, which is a thing. Right? I looked it up. It's a thing. So that's the reason why my chest hurt. And then add the compounding unnecessary anxiety, and I caught a case of the bitch. Visit me in Kansas. We get abort bad drivers. You can't be funnier than me, JT. You've known this rule forever. You can't be funnier than me. But okay, yes. If I ever want to go to Kansas, I like that there are so many offshoots of Kansas. You got Arkansas. You got there's another one. Fuck. Jesus, my geography skills are wavering. But I dropped what had to be the worst joke to this particular female, and she gave me, I think, the worst reaction that I've ever gotten to a joke, which is a pity laugh. I was killing it with the male nurse. There was a male nurse there, and I was dropping bombs, and he was belly laughing. So I felt good about that. But with this female nurse, I fumbled the bag. I dropped it. I had it, and then I dropped it. Obviously, there was never a chance at anything happening with this wonderfully attractive doctor. But she asked me on a good night. Fuck. She asked me on a good night, when do you fall asleep? I responded, on a good night, I fall asleep at 11. On a great night, I fall asleep at 3. And her reaction to that particular bit was, huh. Oh, on a great night, I fall asleep at 3? What? Oh, yeah, cool joke. And the worst part is, the absolute worst part to that particular bit is that I followed it up. I saw that it bombed, and I followed it up. And I go, I mean, like, like I usually fall asleep at 11. That's how I followed it up. It was pathetic. It was pathetic how bad I bombed at this fucking urgent care office. And it's, I think, what had to be the worst joke I've ever told in my entire life. I thought at the time, as it was coming out, that it was clever. Yo, on a good night, 11. On a great night, 3. Oh, but really, I usually sleep at like 11. Pathetic. Pathetic. I should be shot. I should be with the bad drivers. All right? I should be taken out back and shot for that terrible fucking joke. Now that you have identified your condition, and you will be able to stay on top of it and control it and be strong. Stay strong. Much respect, Piggy. I like that, right? That's the worst part, because the moment I got my blood work back, the instant I got my blood work back, everything was fine. Everything was gravy. As a matter of fact, I went to a bar with a friend the day before, right? We went to eat, and I was just there like this. I was like, oh, man, I can't breathe. I don't know what's going on. Then the next day, I get my blood work back. Everything's great. Cholesterol's a little bit high. It's a couple points higher than it should be, right? But it's lower than last time I got it checked. So your boy's making progress on that front. But everything was perfect, immaculate. It was a world record blood work. And then everything's fine. And everything's been fine, right? That's the worst part, because I wanted it to at least be something. I wanted them to come back and be like, dude, you got like a shitty fucking chest, man. That would have at least let me know that it's something. Right? But this is just nothing. This is just from things like, hey, these are things that you feel now, right? Just because. So I was having it because the symptoms, and I was retarded because the symptoms were because of the workout. And then that added to the symptoms of me thinking that I was having a heart attack. And then that led me to dropping the worst bomb at the urgent care clinic of all time. The worst bomb. I think that's worse than my 6th grade joke that I mentioned the other day, where I said to a group of 6th graders, right before I put on comically oversized glasses, I said, hey guys, don't laugh. And then I put these glasses on, and they didn't laugh. I think this tops that. On a great night, 3. Oh, God. But yeah, everyone said the same thing, which was obnoxious to me. Right, that was the most obnoxious part. Every single person said, oh, because of things going on right now, yeah, you should feel anxious. I'm like, don't tell me that. What do you mean because of things going on? You think I care? I have 0 fraction of a fuck as to what's going on in the ether, in the space around me. All right, I care about one thing, and it rhymes with fig cake. Okay, that's the only thing I care about: fig cake, and the other thing that rhymes with thick, foodie Latinas. All right, that's the other thing I care about. Not things that would make me anxious because of what, COVID and the economy. No, those things don't make me anxious. Although my tax guy hasn't responded back to me, and I do have an urgent matter, which is quite upsetting. That is one thing that may be quite agitating, but not anxiety inducing. Let's look at the comments here. I think for the most part, it's JT trying to solicit a beige with Sean Devine. Sean Devine, of course, I just dropped a video on his channel. He dropped a video on my channel. We switched characters, right? I was very nice and lovely. He was a little bit crass. But even your crassness was still lovely, Sean. Even your attempts at crass was still lovely. So unfortunately, it tells me a lot about you as a person, that you are a decent person at heart, not like me, where I'm just this oh, look at penis man. All he does is make dick jokes. That's all he does. Look at this dude. Some comments were like, yeah, dude, don't do that. Don't stoop yourself down to PigCake's disgustingly racist, crass level. Don't do that. That's beyond you. I'm like, yeah, that is true. That's factual. Nobody should ever stoop themselves to my level. Also the height, right? Nobody should. I stood on a thing the other day, and I'm like, wow, this is nice to look down on people. This must be good to be of average height. I don't know that because I'm of everyone's butthole height. So my eye level is pretty much everybody's waist. Not a good life to live. But you know what? I got to convert that into gains. That's the secret. If you're short, you just got to work out. That's the secret. You got to make up for it somehow. You can't be short and skinny. You have to be short and something. And short and fat definitely doesn't work. But yeah, the worst joke. Notice that I actually wrote down the notes here. So the note says worst joke, and then heart attack symptoms. And then after blood work, everything changed. So I wrote down notes because I had to organize myself like an absolute retard. You can manage your symptoms, but that is all. Nurse, can you please, a woman, if you have MGH? I'm glad you're part of the MGH gang. It's a problem that I think most magicians have. As a matter of fact, there's every time I see magicians on TikTok, most of them have MGH. And I've seen this, and this guy, I'm irrationally in dislike of this individual. And I accept it. I'm the bad guy in this scenario. I get it. I'm kind of an asshole in this case. But it's that guy. He's kind of a redhead. He always does the same trick where he turns the card into the watch, right? And he gets me irrationally upset because he always does the little magic hands at the end of that. And he has like a random shark tooth that he just puts around his neck, right? He just gets me irrationally upset. And he's one that I've mentioned before. Kyle B on TikTok is this guy that makes expose videos, but he does it in a funny way. And he always bashes on him. And that's one that I'm irrationally upset at. But he always has a definite case of the MGH. I don't know if you could look up MGH on YouTube and find the video. But it's a spoiler. The joke is magic gay hands. That's the spoiler. I hate if you haven't seen it already, but that's the spoiler. It's magic gay hands, right? You make a coin vanish, and instead of doing this, and it's gone, right? You have to do this, and it's gone. That's MGH, and most magicians have it. I have it, but I control it, right? I wear the patch, and my MGH is a little bit controlled because of that. I think I'm going to show you guys a magic video, believe it or not, a video of a guy doing magic tricks. And the point was that the comments were pretty atrocious. But he has a little bit of a case of magic hands as well, even though he killed the performance. And it was great. And obviously on camera, he's doing cups and balls. You're going to catch things if you're doing cups and balls in camera, right? And this particular individual still nails it. And the comments, of course, are going to be magicians saying things like, whoa, dude, nice. I like the way you slipped that thing there. You know, good technique on the. You should. Yeah, we'll get to that bridge when we cross it. Craig Petty actually put a video on that recently, which is interesting because it's a point that, not to toot my own horn, but I've brought up many times in video form as to how. And I'm gonna say the word gay in a middle school way. All right, I'm gonna say gay. Okay, and I'm using it in the middle school context. How gay it is when you, as a magician, leave a comment on another magician's fucking video alluding to you having knowledge of the method. This is the most virgin rant, right? And I'm sorry, but it bothers me because you're doing it because you want the attention on you. It's like if a magician is performing, right? And then when they have you shuffle the deck, you start doing Sybil cuts. And you start doing all these fancy cuts. You can't take attention away from your goddamn self for 3 seconds while you have somebody else hold court. No, of course not. You're there trembling at the fact that somebody else has attention and it's not on you. So Craig Petty made a video on that recently, and I've also made videos on that with, funnily enough, people, the PigCake community, going and mass commenting, mass replying on the individual, and him being confused as to where all this vitriol came from. He was confused. I think it was in a Ben Earl video where Ben Earl does a shuffle and he does a top change and he sticks a card to his very attractive forehead, and he changes the card and he does this whole presentation. And of course, some guy goes, "Smooth DL, man. I really like the switch on that. You know, the control was excellent." Shut up. Shut up. Nobody cares. Okay? Jesus. Sean JT here talking again, soliciting a beach. Right? Car crash, says Gutbuster Mike. Yes, that would have solicited a car crash noise. As a matter of fact, I don't know if I could find it, but the specific one that I was looking for was from Opie and Anthony. I found a soundboard, but that's cheesy. I want to get the actual sound so I could do the thing. I should maybe remind Daniel to bring, because I think he's coming down. He has some tooth-related incident. I should remind him to bring the equipment from Ham Radio so that I could use it. So I could actually use it, unlike he does. So let me remind him. Bring the stream deck if you remember. Yeah, there you go. What about magicians that bring cards to magic shows and do springs? I've had several videos where that is a thing, right? Well, I've mentioned that. I remember going to Monday Night Magic in New York, right? And I haven't seen a lot of magic shows, to be honest. I haven't seen a lot because the magic scene down here in Miami is atrocious, right? It's pretty fucking bad. These nuts. But when it comes to magic shows, I've maybe gone to 2 good ones, and the rest were ABOs, right? I'll leave you to figure out what an ABO is. But that one in particular was pretty bad, and not because of the magicians performing, because you had a bunch of great magicians performing. Peter Samuelson, you had Francis Minotti, right, doing a set there, which was just, oh God, he does this whole time stuff. Things are going back in time. Amazing. It was the audience, right? You just have a sea of virginity. And it's funny because the majority of the audience were magicians. They weren't regular, normal, ordinary lay people. They were magicians. And they're out here fucking doing springs and shuffles. And I'll never forget the guy literally in front of me brought a kit, a magic kit, like his suitcase with props and, you know, Sven pads and shit. And I'm just there seething, sweating. In my infinite, I looked back then. I wish I have a picture. I think I do, of how I looked back then. And I looked like I repaired computers full time. I looked like I did IT at a phone scam center in India. That's how I looked back then. Little beady glasses, short supercuts haircut. It was pathetic, right? And imagine me back then thinking, whoa, right here, this is what virginity is. And I was doing a channel back then, I believe. This was in 2017, I think, if I do recall correctly, or 2016. Maybe it might be one of those years. But I was sweating, looking at this individual with this briefcase, right, with his props in it, just going, why? Why did you bring? You're watching a magic show, right? The equivalent to that is going to watch a basketball game and bringing a fucking basketball. What are you going to do? You're going to go and shoot some hoops, huh? You're going to try to make it from the half? What are you doing, buddy? Right? Oh, you go to watch an orchestra and you bring your violin. What are you hoping that in case one of the magicians gets sick, you could take his place? You brought your fucking, your magic kit? Are you having a laugh? Let me see. Be better.
Be better. Be better.
Be better.
Be better.
Right? If I could, if this had a name.
Be better. Be better. Be better.
It would be hypocrisy. That would be the name of that particular artwork of Michelle Obama letting you know. Sorry, Michelle and Oprah letting you know to be better. Sorry, I haven't been to one of your lives in forever, but what do you talk about in these streams? Well, I call it my form of therapy, right? I usually call it my form of therapy, where I come in here and I rant about things that get me upset, and maybe for some reason people find them entertaining, right? People find stuff like this entertaining. I'm going to show a couple videos, right? One that I just don't get, and another one that's a magician that did a great job. And comments, and of course, today I wanted to talk about why I missed last week, which was a pretend heart attack, really anxiety attack. When I think of Miami Magic, I just think of someone recording a video for Instagram. Yeah, Miami as a magic scene is mostly used as a backdrop, and it's never Miami. All right, I want to see them coming to where I live. I want to see those Julius Deans with his fucking Harry Potter glasses and Jabrizi with his Yu-Gi-Oh haircut. I want to see them coming here to Little Havana, baby. I don't want them to go to Miami, which is Miami Beach, and doing some fake stuff for some models they hired for $100 an hour. I don't want that. What I want is for them to be doing magic for the real A Street Latinas. And by that, I mean the, troglodytes that we deal with here on a daily basis. The ones that rummage through 8th Street, a popular street down here, and, solicit beeges. Is that the plural for BJs? Beeges? That's what I want. Not the fake, oh, we're in Miami. No, you're not. You're in Miami Beach. That's a different city entirely. All right, they go by different rules. They're troglodytes. They're terrible. It's full of tourists and people driving slingshots. Could you imagine having a more impractical car than a slingshot? Do you know what this thing is? And it's always, a certain kind of people that come in, right, of all walks of life. I don't want to make it seem like I'm hankering on one particular group of individuals, right? But you have, Latinos, you have blacks, you have whites that are trying to be blacks, and they drive these slingshots. They're usually wearing a lot of fake jewelry, because there's no way you'd be walking around with a 2-pound necklace on your head, right, around your neck. There's no way. And they're driving these slingshots, which is essentially a less what do you call this? A less safe version of a motorcycle. So it's a 3-wheeled thing, and there's no protection. I feel more protected on a motorcycle because at least you could jump out, right? At least you could jump out of a bike and then have the bike be the thing that gets the brunt of the damage. With this, you can't jump out. You're stuck. You're strapped. So now you're going to have the jaws of life try to take you out. And that's if they actually manage to get to your body. So they're pretty fucking terrible. You still do, says Michael Lawrence. JT says, hey, you owe me about 1,000 one-on-ones. If you're free before 1 p.m. your time, want to come and jam with me on a live stream? No pressure. Yeah, we'll do that. I'll do that on your hot live stream. Every time every time I see it, I tend to click like, right? Every time I see it. But again, because it seems like you've also been repressed by the YouTube gods. I don't see the stream come up a lot. And also, I'm not on YouTube watching a lot of magic stuff. So maybe magic stuff doesn't get recommended to me. What tends to get recommended to me are things that aggravate me, right? Camera stuff and other certain compilations that get me aggravated. Dr. Mogg says, imagine trying to catch an STI at a magic event. Yeah, that's like trying to find the Hope Diamond, essentially. Trying to catch an STI at a magic event. If anything, you're going to catch some sort of germ disease from lack of hygiene. I mentioned this in a couple videos because I keep referencing to, the cologne. The colognes that I've recently become a hobbyist about, and how people just put on cologne and they think, oh, I smell good. No. You don't smell good, all right? Cologne needs to be put on a clean body in order to actually maximize its efficiency. You can't just put on cologne on a piece of poop, because the poop's going to smell like poop and a little bit of cologne. Especially if you're putting on some fucking body spray like Axe, or you think that that's going to be enough to make you smell good. No. It's a whole process. The towel has to be clean. Your bed sheets have to be clean, right? The clothes you put on have to be clean. Everything has to work together, right? And then you smell nice, and then you could put on the cologne. So it's a process. We'll PM you the link on Discord. Okay, sounds hot. Look at that, a jam. I've never understood what a jam is, by the way. Every time, especially when I was in Blackpool and I saw magicians in person, they're like, "Hey, man, let's go over there and jam." I don't know what to do with my hands. I'm just there like watching people. Essentially, a jam is fool piggy, which is not hard to do because I'm very easy to fool. Antonio, I can't pronounce his last name, but I've talked to him quite frequently since then. It just wrecked me, right? Just showing me a bunch of stuff, a deck vanish with no gimmicks. He's showing me these crazy things, and it's like, oh, am I jamming or what's going on? Because my head's turned into jam. So that's what a jam is. Corn pop, that still sounds like a lot of work. Vaginis, it does sound like a lot of work, but it's a necessary evil, right? It's a lot of work. You have to do it because if not, then you end up one of these stereotypical magicians that looks like a magician. If you don't have clean sheets and a clean towel, you project that, right? That's the vibe you project. You're wearing one of these t-shirts that looks like a tuxedo, right? Ugh. God, that's gross. And then you're going around with playing cards, and you just smell like that smell of what you would imagine a fucking person that plays Smash Brothers professionally smells like. And it's the golden ratio of retardation. So you have to fix all those, and then. But you know what the best part is, right? People might say that's a lot of work. Just fix one of those, and you're gonna see that's gonna make a world of a difference. Clean your towels. Change your towels. Right? Don't just think that they clean themselves because all you're doing is just drying yourself. No. Clean your towels. All right? Sean Devine says, yo, I want to be on that jam. Essentially, it's going to be me watching you guys do stuff. Right? That's what it's going to be. That's what a magic jam is, essentially. It's me watching other people do magic way better than I can. Although, hey, guess what, my friends? Speaking of magic, there's progress being made on my deck, right? This is one of the first prototypes I've made of my playing cards. I made this in 2019, but right now I'm in the accumulating quotes process of the actual playing card endeavor. So right now I'm shopping around to see which company is going to be the best one to suit my needs. But this has been a project that we've been doing since 2019, and it's not, I hope that I'm going to make this very fucking clear that it's not like, oh, dude, it's 3 years of work or however long it's been. No. The deck has had a lot of work on it. Don't get me wrong, right? It's a good deck. I'm happy with it. Everything's custom. The faces are custom. These aren't because these are the stock that come with make playing cards where I got the prototypes done. But the other ones are going to be custom numbers, custom quartz. Everything's essentially custom, but not obnoxiously, right? They're not obnoxiously custom. They're very nice. I like them. Everything ended up to my loving, and we're gonna have 2 decks made. So we're gonna have 2 decks, color waves. I was thinking 3, but I think that might be a little bit too ambitious. So I'm gonna do 2 color waves. This one, right, which is the original piggy. Original flavor, I guess, if you want to call it that, and another one that I guess I'll mention once we start with the actual campaign, which I'm glad is finally fucking, things are rolling, right? Things are rolling finally. So, my goodness. You're never going to have to buy cards again. I feel that because we're also doing the shipping through, I'm going to stay up with Daniel, and we're going to do it in his place because he has all the stuff. He's done it for years. And last thing I want is I've heard horror stories of, oh no, this company, and then no, I want to be in control of everything, right? I want to be the control freak. Jonathan says, Ayo Pigo, got some BTC for you, Chico. Hit me up. Make a wallet and include it in your description for donations. I think I do. If you look at the bottom of my description, I made a piggy NFT, right? I was going to make another one. Actually, what I was going to make too is, sorry, not an NFT. Yeah, an NFT. And I was going to make the thing, the beginning screen as an NFT. Again, just for shits and giggles. And I also made the logo into an NFT, the original one that was sent to me years ago. That one is the OG, so I made that into an NFT. But I believe I do have that on that. I actually haven't put in crypto in a while. I should listen. All right, I should listen, Jonathan. But unfortunately, I haven't done it in a while, especially because right now the IRS is turning my usually tight bumhole from this to this. So that's what's happening in the next couple weeks with the IRS. But as far as the cards are going, we're at least progressing with that. And right now we're at the quoting stage. And I'm really happy with the way they came out. I think I've mentioned them before. They are, the deck is called the Missing Piece deck, right? So obviously you're not going to be able to see it well from there. But there's a lot of things that combine into this, like a nice mix of like an old, what are they called? There was a deck that I stole from Ramsey that reminded me of this. I remember years ago. Also, the quartz are my favorites because they have a little bit of a unique way of telling the suits, and of course they're all cake based, right? And the whole theme is the missing piece of the cake, my friends. If you're familiar with the PigCake logo, you would know that there is a missing piece of cake, and that cake, the missing piece, is what I translated into a deck of playing cards. And the original deck was actually not going to be this sort of artistic. It was going to be just literally the missing piece of cake, simple, on a matte sort of background, GTG, much like the peelers. But my designer said, no, that's gay. Let's do this better. And he worked on these and killed it. And hopefully now, soon enough, we're going to be able to actually make the decks and get them out. Marked decks, not this first one. Unfortunately, because the design, it'd be really hard to put in a reader. I wouldn't want to do any sort of marked deck that's like, oh, you got to decipher. I keep saying the Code of Hammurabi, right? A dated history reference. I don't want to have that, right? I don't want to have people jumping around. So the next deck, because funnily enough, we're also working on the next deck already, is that one. I'm going to see if we could actually do a marking system on that. But this first one is not going to be a marked deck. It's just going to be a standard deck, 2 color waves, and it's just going to be a nice, clean, easy deck. It's not going to be anything crazy, right? Hopefully I could reflect that in the price. We'll see with the quotes that I get, but it's just going to be simple, clean, and not crazy. But the next one is definitely going to be marked because I'm a huge fan of marked cards, and I swear by them, especially the cohorts, any sort of deck that has markings that is just a feature. It's the best because you have essentially a fail-safe. You can never go wrong, especially if you read the markings. But for these, it's I couldn't even imagine where to hide the readers here because I wouldn't want, again, oh, look, if you look at 1 o'clock, the 1 o'clock lets you know that it's a heart, and then if you look at the dot that's in the clock, it lets you know that that's actually a 4. A 4. Yeah, the difference between a 4 and a 5 is this much. All right, in those fucking clock things. So, not a fan of that. How many are you selling? Depends. Unfortunately, we're gonna have to do a Kickstarter for these. I didn't want to. I wanted to just do pre-sale and try to do it that way. But this deck, I think Kickstarter might be the best one for the first run, and then every subsequent one is probably just gonna be regular, good old pre-sale. But I'm apprehensive about Kickstarter just because they take a fat wad of fees, and there's also little things that happen with Kickstarter. I'm not a huge fan of that. However, we're going to go through that for this first run of this first deck. So it's up to whatever we raise, honestly. If we have to print 1,000, if we have to print 500, if we have to print 5,000, really depends on that. As an ego thing, I want to do better than Gentleman Wake. It just is my ego, right? I know that's going to be hard because he had a lot of frills in his deck, and this is pretty much going to be a very down to earth deck, right? Hopefully one that people use. And my ego says no. I want to do better than him. But that's just my lofty goal. But we'll see. Was Manel part of the design? No. This one was the person that made my logo. I know Manel's extraordinarily talented. He's shown me some deck designs that he's worked on just on his off time. Kills it with that shit. But this one was my boy Caesar that made the design. He was on some ham radios. I remember a long time ago, Caesar, don't say anything about my family. Oh yeah, dude, like just like your brother. And then he just drops a bunch of family stuff, which is great. But he was on ham radio forever ago. He's the one that made my original logo, and we're gonna be working on a lot of decks coming. I mean, a lot of decks in the foreseeable future, because this one was really his first attempt at designing playing cards, and it took him a while because he wasn't happy about things, and I get it, but it did take a lot longer than I wanted to. But I am happy with the end product, so I'm very happy with it, and now it's just doing it. Manel designed my upcoming deck. Yeah, and I'm sure it's gonna be fucking tremendous because anything he touches is gold. He made this little poster here. You can't see it, but just so talented, and just effortless, right? It just seems effortless because you'll say something and then it'll be like, "Hey, I drew this based on a thing you said on a live stream." What? To me, that's real magic, right? As it sounds, that's real magic, not what we're doing with playing cards. It's seeing something, imagining something, and then putting it on a canvas and actually having it look exactly like what's in your head. That to me is astonishing. But this was all 100% Caesar and his artistic talent. So this is a video I want to show you guys. Let me see if I could pull it out here in the background. It's let's see if I'm an idiot. I'm on the wrong keyboard. So let's see. Let me pause this. Okay, and let me do a smooth transition to this. Let me make sure that my audio is correct. Last time, unfortunately, like an idiot, I waited too long to set up my audio, and it ended up showing stuff that I didn't want to show. So let's see this. This is a dude doing a trick, and again, it's not the dude, right? That's not the problem. I don't have the problem with the dude. The guy kills it, but we'll see it. It is a little bit long, but we'll watch it and talk about it here. So let's do a smooth transition. Look at that. Production value, my friends. Production value. Now let's make sure that we could hear it. I said let's make sure that we could hear it.
You already recording?
Yeah.
Okay.
I used to snap camera sitting right in front of me, which you didn't use. I don't care.
I didn't.
Okay, we got. There we go. Napkin ripped in half. Nothing inside the shaker. Once again. Boom. I'm gonna pick this one up right here. Place down into this hand. Pick this one up. Place it right inside there. Just like that. I'm gonna squeeze it. Go on. Should have two balls there. Pick it up. So you take one of them, place it right on top.
What?
I like the way you're looking at it. Yeah. So what you do? So this one I do a little bit slower.
What the heck? I saw the crumble.
You saw the crumble? Yeah, I think just disintegrate.
Stop.
You should be in there. Make it up.
Oh,
Oh, you said you like limes.
What the
You said
heck?
you like limes, right? You like limes.
What is your problem?
I know you like limes. So what you do is you take this one right here. And what you do, you take it inside the lime and you squeeze it inside the lime.
Stop.
What? So now it's inside the lime.
Anything is possible. I'm
What
scared.
you do is, see, actually nothing is there, yeah? Open your hand, open your hand, open your hand. Close your hand, close your hand. There we go, see? See, so now we got an orange, yeah? So what if you take your phone? You get Siri on your phone. Yeah.
Stop
Yeah, if you
it.
got Siri, you go like, you got voice Siri? Yeah. So go to hey Siri.
look how good this
Siri.
bit is. Fuck.
Hey Siri. She don't listen. She should listen. Can I get a tecate? She's fucking amazing.
I'm gay for great magic. I am gay for tremendous magic, and that was just the best. I think the guy passed away from what I've read, unfortunately. But man, let me tell you this. And then okay, so let's look at what actually bothered me. Actually, no, I don't think this guy's dead. Maybe it might have been some reference to a different guy. But this guy, what the? When you watch it for the second time, you can see every move, and especially the top of the Tecate can. What? Fucking virgin? Now, at least, it's not like, it doesn't seem like a magician. It just seems like a bloke, right? Just talking about the method. But it's this from magicians that gets my gears ground, right? It makes my virginity alarm ring harder than it needs to. Let's see if we could actually, I saw what he did. Nobody cares, right? Hopefully the comments, please explain. I always watch his right hand. Yeah, you're a fucking virgin, man. Stop it. Jesus, nobody cares. They always have to take the attention away from the actual immaculate video. Obviously, if you have the ability to watch it, you're going to see certain things, right? If you rewatch it, that's the point. But to the people there, I'm sure they didn't see anything. I'm sure everything was immaculate. Even a can production, all right, from a single cup, as virgin as that sounds, that's excellent. The video was amazing. So the way the fucking guy structures the whole set is great. Because it starts off with that classic bit of the torn napkin appearing in the same place, and then it builds up into this fucking cups and balls. But no, you can't have that. You have to have these fucking, I hope they're not magicians. I have to watch real times. I caught the lime and the orange. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Finally got a good angle and see what he slipped in the shaker. Yeah, if you watched it once, you would be able to see it because it's a fucking video. So the comments really is what gets me to fucking want to take my revenge on an innocent group of kids. It's the comments. But the video is just tremendous. And I love seeing this because good magic just makes me happy. Good magic, as virgin as that sounds. Every time I see something done well like this, yes, that's what I like. Not things that are mediocre, but people say it's great because, I don't know, some odd reason, right? I don't want to name any names as to that particular type of magic. The Julius Deans, right? We'll just say that. Those styles of magician. That's not really magic. It's just, hey, here's a hot chick. Here's a trick on the hot chick. You could watch this with the volume turned off. Is that really something that's nuanced and important if you could watch it with the volume turned off? I don't think so. I think if you could watch it and understand it, right? If you could watch it and the you obviously need to hear it. That's when it's something nuanced, when it's something that's of value, that has substance, not when it's fucking watchable with the volume turned off or you having a laugh. This is another one. This isn't a magician. This just got me irrationally upset. Let me see if I could play this right here. This got me irrationally upset because this is virginity exists everywhere, my friends. Virginity exists absolutely.
Fell out of his bed and landed.
Absolutely everywhere, right? I used to think it was only limited to magic. No. Virginity exists in absolutely every aspect of life. I've noticed it when I got into fucking cigars, right? I've noticed that was a thing that virginity was very prevalent in. I've recently gone into colognes. There's a lot of virginity in colognes. There's also a lot of virginity in phone repair, right? There's also a mound of virginity in phone repair. And this is one where this woman goes to the store and says, hi, my husband broke his phone. He needs a repair. Why would you respond in this way as a person who's trying to make money? And now the volume doesn't work. Isn't it great when it doesn't fucking pause when you want it to, but then the volume doesn't work when you want it to? Okay.
It fell out of his bed and landed on the floor the wrong way and broke the power button.
Almost looks like he dropped some dumbbell weights on it, but
He had exercise equipment under. It's a bunk bed, and it was under, and it landed right on the exercise equipment.
doing repairs for so long, I can kind of see what type of damages and what hit what and where. Run some assessments on it and get you a price quote on that home button.
Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Like that, I saw that one and I'm like, what are you doing? She came here for asking for a service, trying to pay you money for a service where you fix the phone. Nobody cares that you could somehow Superman your way into knowing that maybe instead of the guy dropping the phone and it hit a weight, that maybe he dropped it. What's the difference? What's the difference? And I'm glad all the comments reflect this too, by the way. Why are you arguing with the damage? Way to lose a customer. And of course, right, incapable of understanding that he sounds like an absolute virgin. Oh, good point, mate, super sleuth. What? No one else. I'm not impressed. No, I'm not impressed. I'm impressed that he had the audacity to go to a customer and go, wait, yeah, that didn't happen. No, it doesn't matter. You still have to fix the phone regardless, right? So what's the point if she dropped it or if a weight dropped on it? It's still the same thing. You could see the damage. So virginity exists everywhere. Why argue? Just fix it. There you go. Yeah, if you started accusing me of lying, I'm taking my service somewhere else. I agree. So I just saw that. And I just got upset irrationally, right? As I tend to do. I get upset irrationally. By the way, look at this Everything's themed, my friends. Everything is themed, right? You think that, oh, Piggy's just part of the lifestyle. Piggy's just part of the lifestyle. No, I live it. I live it. Look at that. Imagine taking that out in public and putting your AirPods away and trying to get vag, trying to get a snatch, as they say. I hate how clever that comment is. I fucking hate how clever that comment is. But Schleitzer, with the comment of the century, says he thinks he's Sherlock Phones. See, why couldn't I come up with that sort of ingenuity when it comes to my quick banter? Instead, I dropped the worst joke of all time. Oh, I sleep on a good night, I sleep at 11. On a great night, I sleep at 3. Instead, that's my level of humor. That's my limits. That's the what do you call this? The fringe of my ability to banter, right? It's that. Sean says, yo, Manel, we're just talking about how incredibly talented you are. Yes. And also a sexy man. Also a sexy man. We're talking about your penis. Daniel, of course, chimes in, says, I care, bro. Daniel sent me a video showing off that he got an Apple Watch. And the video is him sitting on a toilet. And he shows me the Apple Watch. The fact that I didn't block you, the fact that I did not block you from using like T-Mobile, not just like, oh, hey, let me block you, report you as spam. No, I call T-Mobile and I go, hey, please ban this phone number from sending me a video of you sitting down in a toilet. That's disgusting. I don't want to see that from anyone. Jesus. Julius Dean knows how to force 58008 on a calculator. Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly it. But yeah, I think I'll mention it. I've alluded to having a bad conversation with an individual in England, and that individual was Julius Dean. I think I could say it, right? It's just I had the worst, dumbest conversation. He was asking me about shit from Illusionist, and he goes, dude, if you really want to make money, dude, you got to do it this way. And I get it. Yes. Okay. If I want to make money, I'll do the style of video where you just have to stick your finger in a fucking power socket and just completely turn retarded so that you could understand the video, right? I get it. That's the style of video that he's doing. But he's telling me like, no, your video sucks. My video sucks. Like, oh, that one sucks because you're supposed to be able to watch it with the volume turned off. And look how much you're talking. Well, that's because I was trying to make a joke, all right? There was a joke. There was a purpose to the video. There was a certain level of humor that I was trying to accomplish in the video, something that obviously you would know nothing of. Now, granted, right, the difference in success in terms of, financial is there. It's prevalent, right? There's a difference between me and him, but I'm happy where I'm at, not selling out and doing that style of content, which is AIDS. If you could watch a video without the volume on, it just lets me know that the video is meant for you while you're taking a shit. Is that a video that I'm happy to make? No. It's not a video that I'm happy to make. And then it turns into this thing where now I'm having to think of this shitty content and I had to churn this out because if I don't, I get lost. Because that's the way attention works now. If you don't come up with stuff, you're going to be lost, especially when you're doing that style of content. So he told me all this dumb stuff, and I go, yeah, but your videos don't require any thought. And he goes, what do you mean? My videos require a lot of thought. I had to look at this. You could watch it. There's attention. I'm like, yeah, I get that, right? I get that. But at the same time, it's meant for people shitting. It's meant for people to just consume without any thought whatsoever. So it wasn't really an argument, but it annoyed me because of that particular conversation and how self-righteous he was talking. I'm like, I could kill you right now, you fuck, you magician. I could just grab you by the fucking... So that was a fun conversation. And before I've alluded, right, I haven't actually made a reference to who I had a shitty interaction with, but I think enough time has passed where I can make a mention that it was Julius Dean looking like Harry Potter, pointing out how shitty my Illusionist videos were. Fuck you. What are these shitty videos? And then he pointed out an example of, look at this video of this girl getting her torn jeans fixed. And it's the standard attractive chick, magician, wearing fucking flamboyant colors, right? Pointing and then rubbing his hand on the thing, and then she goes, oh my God, how'd you do that? And then the video loops. Does that really take a lot of thought? No, It really doesn't take up a lot of thought. Does that take a lot of thought to watch? No. It's shit. What do you call this? Consumer content, right? You're just attracting attention with a hot chick and a lot of fucking vibrant colors. It's gay, to be honest. So that was my bit. And a rant. I don't know why I got into that rant. What got me into that shit? TikTok, maybe? What was it? I forgot what actually got me into that tirade. Manel says, you guys were talking about my penis. Now I have to watch from the beginning. That comment's okay. Mine are better, says Daniel, of course. Daniel's favorite person is Daniel. Steve, all right, already read that one. JT Eberhardt says, good magic makes me happy. Would have been a better pickup line with the nurse. That is true. That is definitely true. I do feel like that would have been an infinitely better comment than doing the joke that I did, which is the equivalent of AIDS. That's the joke that I did. Mind you, I'm here accusing other content creators of making AIDS content. And I put nothing but AIDS onto the magic sphere. So, is the kettle calling the pot black? Steve Wonderbrooks also says, I'm back. Just going here to see if I could skip something. If I skipped anything. Keep schooling the smelly pigster. Yes. My goal in magic is to not make people better at magic, is to actually, hopefully, make magicians better people. That's my goal. Right? I don't want to make you a better magician. I want to make you a better person. I want to make sure that you are a better individual. Not that you're better at a card trick. We could all do card tricks. They're not hard, right? We try to make it seem like, oh, I'm self-taught. Okay, yeah, everyone's self-taught. Try to make it seem more special. But no. What I want is to improve you as a person. PigCake Tangent, in your early videos, you taught a 2-deck trick where they touch a card in the red deck, it's turned over, and that's the card turned over in the blue deck. Backs are swapped too. Yes, I believe that's probably from Mark Wilson's Guide to Magic, if I recall correctly. Now, the worst part is that because I've put out so many fucking videos, anytime somebody makes a reference to a specific video, I'm lost. Right? This trick that you did is great. I'm like, I don't remember because that's the worst part about putting out so many videos in my infinite channels, and not my infinite, in my the channel career, right? But at least they're fucking thoughtful, all right? They have meaning. They're not just a hot chick with a rip in her pants. I'll read the continuation, dumbass. I'm taking on a hot girl assistant for Ren Fair this year, so incorporating some 2-deck stuff. That was the first one in. Okay, so I skipped that second part. But I think if that's the same one that I'm remembering, it's probably from Mark Wilson's Guide to Magic. Michael Lawrence with the second best comment of the fucking stream, which is, it took one thought to make. And thought, of course, referring to that hoe over there. Very common term. This was when I found out that I was old, when I had the word thought explained to me by a student of mine. And I said, I had a thought the other day. And they start laughing. And I go, what? And they go, thought. Dude, thought means that hoe over there. So I'm like, I definitely didn't have that. Because I look like I repair phones in Mumbai. You want to make me a better person? That means making me a worse magician. I won't stand for this jiggery pokery, with, of course, a reference to probably the most virgin-y magician of all time. That video of him, I forget his fucking name, but he's doing like a slide down a street, and his glasses just come up. He's the one that did that restoration trick. I hate that I fucking don't know his name because he's one of my favorite magicians. Long story short, thank you for continuing to inform my own magic career, bitch. That's, I'll take that. I'll take that from you. Okay, JT, I'm glad I could inspire you. Again, unfortunately, to be a better magician, I rather inspire you to become a better person. The last thing that I guess I wrote down to myself is I saved a squirrel. So I know that's kind of a dumb thing to write down, to remember, but it was kind of an incident because there was a squirrel in my motorcycle and he refused to get out. And it was there for 2 days. And I'm like, this stupid squirrel is going to end up dying because it doesn't know what's around us, right? It doesn't have the balls to find a tree and go somewhere because it was a young squirrel. So then I pulled the squirrel out, put that shit in a box as it squirmed, and then put it in a tree. And then hopefully left it to nature. And by nature, I hope that it managed to find sustenance. I gave it some seeds, right? I gave it some seeds, some food. So it wouldn't actually be by itself. Guy Hollingsworth, there you go. That's who I was referring to. Sean Devine, of course, with the other with the Bants here says, "Oh, I thought it meant tally ho over there." Tally ho over there. A little bit of virginity there you sprinkled in. Right, you sprinkled in a little bit of the magic virginity, but I guess it's topical considering, unfortunately, this is a magic channel. Why am I getting so many notifications? I don't get notifications outside of the stream, right? But then suddenly I do a live stream, email, text, phone call. So I don't like that. Usually it lets me know that something's going on. I forgot it, but my wife could bring it on Saturday, said Daniel. I knew that he had forgotten it. And again, taken away from the potential production value. Because with that little stream deck, I could press a button, car crash. Instead of having to do a shortcut where I do this. Fuck. Never mind, wrong one.
Be better.
Be better. Okay, let's go. Wild. I want to see where that kid is now. Impressive, you wrestled a squirrel at your size. Oh, man. Thank you for that. I appreciate that very much. Yes, I managed to wrangle down a squirrel, right? Even though it was extraordinarily hard, I managed to fight it and put it in a box and then subsequently save it for my motorcycle. Also, I need to ride my bike, and last thing I wanted was for that squirrel to be there on my bike the entire time that I'm riding it, and then it maybe throws itself in the street and then becomes roadkill. I didn't want that. I managed to grow attached to the squirrel. I would never get pets. I hate the idea of pets, right? And I'm not saying that in like a PETA way. I just hate the fact that you love something and you're going to grow attached to it that used to roam freely, right? It used to hunt and thrive. And now I'm teaching it little tricks. Like I'm like, hey, Trevor, high five. High five. Hey, look at me. Look at me. Look at me. Like you have to do all this stuff. We've domesticated wolves and we've made them into bitches. I don't like that. Right, but if I were to get a pet, it would definitely be either a pig or a duck, even though both of them have definite downsides to their ownership. Ducks shit every 15 minutes, and pigs usually grow to an unreasonable weight. So the thought is there, but unfortunately, they're impractical creatures. Zach Hyde, I believe relative of Samuel Hyde, says, that squirrel sounds nuts. I think we found a worse joke than my urgent care joke. Trevor, the PigCake dog. I just hate, the one thing that I hate looking at is whenever a fucking person, this is the ranty portion of the stream, by the way. We've come to the after hours portion of the stream after all the topics, right, have exhausted, where I just rant on stuff. I hate dumb bitches with dogs, right? It's, I think, one of my biggest pet peeves next to the word pet peeve. I hate the word pet peeve. Well, what's your pet peeve? This is my pet peeve. Being asked, what are my pet peeves, right? However, one of them is a type of female, which is very prevalent here, especially in Miami, which is the dog mom. And the dog mom takes her dog to restaurants. And the dog mom takes her dog to restaurants that don't allow for dogs under certain pretenses that may or may not have been fabricated, right? Like, no, this is my special needs dog. Like that sort of stuff. I don't believe you, right? I don't believe you because I think that if you had the option to have a special needs pet, you'd probably pick a cooler pet, like a squirrel. A special needs squirrel would probably be better at fixing a problem. And people take their dogs to restaurants. And then inevitably what happens is that another dog is going to walk by, and I don't care how trained you are. It's the same as if a human walks by and goes, hey, bitch, sup, bitch, stupid bitch, dumb bitch. It's the same thing. You're going to go, what the fuck? You're going to respond in an aggressive way. So when a dog walks by, right? They're screaming at each other. And then the mom does all her little tricks, does all the stuff that she's trained at home watching the YouTube videos, right? And it's embarrassing because now you have two couples or two people, two sets of people doing all their little dog tricks. Like, Trevor, look at me. Trevor, no, Trevor, look at me. Trevor, no, me. Look at me. Look, mommy's doing a thing. And it's the most embarrassing thing. It's honestly the most fucking embarrassing thing on the planet. And you see this constantly here because a lot of people eat outdoors and they walk by with their dog, and then somebody else is walking their dog, and then there's calamity, and then I die a little bit inside. The whole special needs pet stuff is bullocks, especially except for iDogs. I somewhat agree, right? Dog mom equals femcell, says Steve Wonderbooks. SH Magic Trick Tutorial says I am unemployed. Luckily, I'm professionally unemployed. So I don't know if that's better. We've turned wolves into bitches. Panic attacks left and right, says JT. Thank you for that. Early reminder as to me thinking I had a heart attack there. Can we go back to where Daniel somehow married? And to confirm that the girl that would steal his stuff. Yeah, Daniel's married on a plea bargain. I've always said that Daniel got married on a plea bargain. I don't know how. I don't know why. But they have a lovely marriage and a wonderful home. So I think it's on a plea bargain. But that's I hate that. And it happens constantly. As a matter of fact, it happened yesterday. I was at a restaurant and I see the interaction and I'm like, here it goes. You could always call it, by the way, because it's happened so much. You know the steps. The steps are person walks in with the dog, right? And you know immediately, okay, all right. Person's going to walk in. The dog's going to sit down. The dog's going to go around. Every noise, the dog's going to think, is that me? Is that for me? Is that for me? Is that me? Oh, the noise? That's me. That's me. They're so full of fucking shit, right? And then inevitably, another person comes in with a dog and you go, here it is. Here it is. Here comes the tricks. Here comes the hand signs, right? And then there's always like, nope. Come on, look at me. And they're just so embarrassing to look at. And it never works. So I really hope that, you know what, maybe I might just dedicate my life to stopping people like that. And as they leave their house with the dog, I go, where are you going? Where are you going? To the restaurant? No, turn around. Turn the fuck around. Go back inside your house. Stop it. But you know what? That's the stream. I think it's been a fun one, guys. Thank you for, indulging me in my anxiety-driven, I guess, endeavor. More so from the urgent care visit and my subsequent doctor visit, which let me know that everything's good. Everything's fine. Your boy has world record good blood, world record good internals, right? And that I just tricked myself into thinking that I was having some sort of heart attack. I'm sending an e-bike back to Miami today. That's another one too, by the way. A lot of fucking e-things going on. I hate the scooters. The e-bikes, I guess, are all right because at least, you know, they're going 25. So you're keeping up with cars on residential roads. But the scooters drive me nuts. And that's another thing that's going to take me to potentially be the subject of a Netflix documentary sometime in the future. Right? And hopefully you guys will be a part of that too. Like, yeah, we watched this content and we always saw the red flags. We saw the red flags there. And none of us did anything because we thought it was going to be a joke. But that's the stream. Thank you guys, man. I'll be on here next week. Next Wednesday, 11 o'clock Eastern Time Pacific. Gonna have some bants and some bits. I think I'm gonna end it there. I think that's a good places ever to end it. So see you next week.